Now TLO, he recently had that show match with Grubby.
The best of 15.
Best of 15. It did not go well for him.
It was, well, TLO's, I mean, everyone knows his EVP is not that great.
Yeah.
So.
His EVZ, on the other hand, beating out Sen.
It's pretty good.
Who, I have to say, that was kind of questionable play overall by Sen. But I think he is considered the better Zerg in this case. Maybe TLO is upsetting a lot of Sen fans and just reassuring us that, hey, it's not a race thing. You know, TLO does have the... Oh, I didn't mean Asians. I meant him switching from Terran to Zerg. I have to clarify that before I...
Yeah, and I mean, Sen's ZVZ is not bad. He even took a game off DRG not too long ago, so he's capable of playing with the best.
Ooh. 10 pool incoming.
10 pool.
Actually,
From
10 pool
both
incoming. All right, both these players being a little tricky. Now I love 10 pool, actually.
Yes, and there's a lot of you know, psychology behind that, Andre. Let's break it down for the people watching.
Antigua Shipyard Cross Positions is a map where we love to go 15 hatchery. It's pretty easy to hold because you have your ramps, but 10 pool is the big problem. If you go 15 hatch, 10 pool has the capacity to kill a ton of drones or kill your hatchery outright.
Or both.
Or both.
If you're not careful.
For sure. So what happens from there is, you know, obviously the 10 pooling Zerg has a big advantage in the early game. They can normally snowball that into a pretty sizable advantage with getting your queen out faster than your opponent. You have better injects. You can actually expand while your opponent loses his or her expansion. So it's a really good place to be when you're going against 15 hatch. Kind of sucks against 14-14. You can go kind of even there if you're really, really good in micro, I guess.
Yeah.
And the last thing I do want to mention, which has been a little bit more popular, is 10 pool Speedling. I shouldn't say a little bit more popular. It's a little bit rare, but it has...
yeah, I don't see it that often.
You don't? Because I've actually seen it a couple times.
I'm saying that often.
Actually.
I'm saying you're saying it's not uncommon. I'm saying not that often. So. Oh, Sen's drone, scouting drone did get picked off, and they're trying to see if they can trade. Sen, gonna come down to see who can micro a little bit more. TLO seems to have taken an extra hit, and you have to be really cautious, as losing Zerglings really easy can snowball. Wow.
3 Zerglings go down. That's pretty gigantic. It gives Sen the ability to expand or at least take that bottom control, and TLO will not. He has to use an extra larva, which translates to that drone that he lost. It is pretty nice. And Sen, he wants to engage as best as possible without that queen in the area. Oh, God.
Oh, Sen is going to engage. Second queen does pop out, though, and Sen immediately pulling back. So, yeah, that was a pretty good call there from TLO, and having second queen. He's even spreading his creep to see if he can protect the ramp. But Sen, he is droning up very comfortably back home while TLO is making more Zerglings.
Units lost. Oh, Sen is really good at this micro, man.
Nice.
The micro games. Units lost is 8-6, so he did lose a little bit more than he wanted to right there. But look how many Zerglings are being baited over here.
And we do see the Zerglings do get cornered. Sen gets a pretty good scout of everything, sees no gas whatsoever, as Sen now starting speed. He's keeping drones on gas, though. I guess he probably wants to keep it just for reassure his baneliness.
Meantime, Spinecrawler gets put down by Sen. He should just be massing up. And I would assume Zerglings, there's a couple of different variations that you can go from here. What he's basically trying to do is gain a little bit of map control, and just enough to actually take his hatchery down here. But he has to do it carefully, because his opponent does have an alarming amount of Zerglings, and it looks like Sen doesn't want to commit too hard to making his own Zerglings, although I think he should have, because he has the metabolic boost advantage. He saw his opponent doesn't have an extractor for a long time, so he can actually take a lot of room and a lot of, I guess, intelligence gain on his opponent. He knows exactly when his opponent expands, when his opponent is, what his opponent is capable of. There's just so much that goes into having metabolic boost before your opponent.
And does Sen know about this expansion? He doesn't. The only thing he's really been able to see is the Zergling movements he's been tracking. Sen does have his Bane Nest on the way, like he thought he would, and his Spinecrawler is doing a pretty good job. I like that position a lot, actually, to be able to reach the ramp and also help kind of defend the middle line. TLO's expanding, but does he have really anything to deal with if Sen chooses to go counter-aggressive.
Sen is looking to do all in right now. He put down his Baneling Nest, so there's no doubt in my mind. Oh, wow, TLO still does not have his gases. He's relying all on his spine crawlers. He needs to make a ton of spine crawlers. I would even say make a couple extra queens if he wants to defend this way. But it's kind of risky. Oh, gosh. It's kind of risky because this style, you have to know your opponent is all-inning. And I don't know if TLO knows that or not. Actually, there is a macro hatchery. I shouldn't say a macro hatchery, but a regular hatchery coming out behind here. So this is like feint aggression.
He's forcing a lot of spines here, and Sen, he can actually just retreat back home if he really wanted to. But he's gonna go. I think he's gonna go for it anyways. Wow.
Yep.
The amount of spines TLO is making is 6 right now, and Sen really can't break that.
I don't think he can back up just yet. If we look at the income tab, 20 to 30, so TLO is pretty massively ahead in that respect. So unfortunate for him. He has so many spine crawlers up here. Wow.
Yeah, and I mean TLO, he is behind in gas, but now he has 3 geyser, or he's getting his 3rd geyser, and he's harvesting gas very quickly compared to Sen. So now is he choosing to follow this up? He's been droning actually very hard, and he's not that far behind right now, but he's starting to fall behind the gas count.
Unfortunate. Evolution Chamber and the Baneling Nest is coming up here. You can see the income tab. The harvesters are actually kind of thinning out. Actually, well, there's the big drone pump from Liquid TLO, so he will take the slight advantage in that respect. It's going to snowball back and forth. Nice Baneling hit.
Yeah, and he's just whittling down the number very slowly by 1. But, you know, who said, I think it was Killer, who said it from Dignum Toss, he was saying drones in ZVZ count 3 times more than they would in other matchups. So, you know, every drone advantage could be count 3 times more. So if he's up by 7 right now, that's actually 27 drones based off the comparative advantage.
I agree. You know, it's interesting because there's a third resource that comes into play when you're playing ZVZ, and which is Larva. Now, this is in every matchup, but it's a lot more apparent in DVZ. It's because you're normally at a point where there's so much action and it is low economy for so long that every larva counts. A larva can be seen as a potential unit when you're attacking or a potential drone when you're macroing up. So it's so important to make sure you have good larva management. Your larva should always be spent as best as possible, and you should always try not to lose units. In every strategy game. Good job, Andre.
Try not to lose your units in a real-time strategy game. Oh, I think if I ever want to advance in a tournament, I think I better not lose my units. But, oh, Sten does get a scout in and sees everything at the natural, sees the Roach Warren as well as the Evo Chamber. At the same time, TLO also got a scout in. He saw no morphing layer, and he also saw no gas taken at the natural either. So TLO has a pretty good information. And now, when he was behind in tech, he's now ahead.
Yeah, third is coming up for Sen. And it looks like TL will just mimic that and make his own third. I like what he's doing over here. The extractor is just keeping his drone alive. Yep.
Sen getting cornered here, but at the same time, he's just trying to catch back up. He's starting to get a little bit ahead of the roach count, but TLO is making 11 roaches right now, so that should even it out pretty easily. Sen did start his roach speed a lot earlier because the whole idea is TLO scouted the main but didn't see the layer, so he thinks he's ahead in tech. But in fact, Sen does have that advantage.
Yeah, let's go ahead and look to where these players are deviating. And
that's really clever, actually. I like that a lot by Sen. Making the layer at the natural instead, and he makes it more resilient against any kind of pushes.
Yeah, we were actually talking about this in the Idra versus, was it Cruncher? I think it was an Idra versus Cruncher.
He made his layer and hive at the natural expansion.
Yeah, you are
at the third. That's right.
And the basic premise of it is, if I lose this base, I'm already dead. So why don't I give this base the most opportunity to always stay alive?
Oh,
so
man.
It's really, really clever.
This
I like
is
it as
so
well.
clever by Sen because he's only been showing Zerglings as well. So TLO feels way more confident than he should be. Especially because Sen's been making roaches way earlier than he has, and now the roaches have been revealing banelings, and TLO overstepped his bounds, and Sen all of a sudden has a pretty big roach advantage, 25 to 11.
He already has Glio Reconstitution, so he will be able to catch up to this his opponent, but Glio Reconstitution is just kicking in. That is the roach speed for TLO. He will be able to retreat in time to his spine crawlers. Of course, the spine crawlers are really, really nice in that they just give that foundation now.
This is so smart. I can't even begin to praise how smart the way Sen's been playing this game in terms of information. He's revealing TLO. He made TLO feel very confident of Roach lane push. He said, oh, I should have the first Roaches out. I was going to align my timing based off speed. But Sen's been really basting off of 3 base this entire time. And now he has a huge Roach advantage. And Roaches, we're talking about snowball units, Colossus to PvP.
Oh.
Roaches is that, but a big fungal there. And will Sen, I still feel like Sen has enough here if he can get his Roaches in a good position.
Yeah, the infestors need to waddle on over here. Now the fungal growth goes down. The big problem is the roaches are already in position where TLO has to react to this. That's why we see so many roaches trading right here. If they were just like 5, I don't know what, feet, hexes, whatever it is, 5 hexes out here, not around the hatchery, then these fungal growths would have been amazing. The roaches wouldn't have to engage, and Sen wouldn't be in a position where he's killing the 3rd base. But now that this hatchery's down, Sen has a gigantic advantage. Look at that the supply advantage for Sen at this point. Wow.
170 to 110. TLO is also missing a 3rd base compared to his Zerg opponent. Of course, Sen just mining out of that and also getting some larva, constantly staying on top of his injects. He's been really good. I mean, if you look right now, Sen, he's playing at 420 APM. He's absolutely insane.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Oh, he was when he was microing his roaches, but now he's playing an insane rate. He does get fungled here. TLO does have the infestor advantage, and don't count that out. They're just a little thing. Infestors are really good, but he just doesn't have enough stuff. Sen rallying more units here, and TLO, despite having an early game advantage, will end up losing their GG.
Very surprising winner right there, considering what we saw in the beginning of the game.
Not bad.
Ooh,
not bad. Not bad, Rati. Not bad.
Oh,
that was really good.
It is good.
So good, huh?
Of course.
It was really good, man. And I think Sen was able to really play. I mean, you saw how he really was behind economically. He's 30 to 20 drones. And you saw how much gas and time he invested into those banelings. He could have spent it elsewhere. And Sen playing very well, showing great poise in ZVZ.
It's interesting, too, because he had his +2 attack just about to finish, and he attacked before that. And he's like, I don't care.
He's like, yeah.
He'll
finish sometime during this battle. Sen ties up the series. Will he be able to take game number 3 and complete the comeback, or will TLO finish the upset? The game was brought to you by Kingston HyperX, the people supplying us lots of great gear and technology. Check them out at kingstonhyperx.com. We'll be back with game number 3, deciding game. We've had some great series today. I'm really happy. Who will win between the Sen and TLO? Find out after the jump.